All right, hello, Math 1332 students. If you are in one of my two sections, the one that meets Wednesdays, 8:30 to 9:50, which is an online with a schedule, so it's called a WS course, or if you're in my Tuesday, Thursday, 10:30 to 11:50, which is called a Flex Campus class, which means it's going to act like a WS online with a schedule until early October at the least. So if you're in one of those two sections of Math 1332, I'm your instructor. My name is Marian Alexander. And this video is to replace the first day of an in-class session where we go over the syllabus and the rules and the structure of the course. Okay, so some important things you need to do immediately. You need to get a hold of the syllabus, which is on the Canvas course. Also, it's on HCC's Learning Web. Okay, you can get to HCC's Learning Web fastest by just Googling HCC Learning Web. And when you get there, it asks you for a faculty name. You would just put in my name, Marian Alexander, and go right to all the classes I'm teaching this semester, and you can find your particular section, get your particular syllabus, and you should probably print it out because you're going to need it on the syllabus quiz, which you're going to be taking on MyLab Math, MLM, and you have to pass that at the 100% level by this Thursday, August 27th, 2020, okay? There's no extensions on any quizzes or homework deadlines in this course, so you need to hop to it. For another reason, you need to hop to it because you can't access the rest of the coursework that's in MyLab Math until you have passed that syllabus quiz. It's a prerequisite for everything else in the course. So you'll notice that there is a quiz 1, it's an academic quiz, this Friday. So you need to get to the syllabus quiz, just get it out of the way as soon as possible. The rest of this video will help you pass that quiz. All right. So after you've got that out of the way, you have to read the syllabus. You have to take the syllabus quiz. Okay, once you're done with that, what do you have to do? Well, you are expected to participate, as you know from reading the syllabus. These classes that are online with a schedule, I have to take attendance during those sessions where we're going to be on WebEx. That's the plan right now. Let's hope that works. And I need to be able to see you actively participating there to mark your attendance. Okay, so just logging in and being silent for the whole class section isn't going to work. I need you to comment meaningfully, ask questions, meaningful questions, to show that you are participating as a student in this course. If you're there and active, you get a 1.5 contact hour added to your attendance record. If you arrive late or leave early, you get an L, which next to your name, which means that I'm giving you just 0.75 hours. That is not up for discussion. That's the way it is. And if you are just not present at all in any meaningful way that I can see, then you get 0 hours for that class, for that section. So you would need to attend class, the online classes. You need to also, outside of the WebEx class session, though sometimes we'll incorporate it within the class session, the lecture, the mathematical lecture for that section, for that day. I am also posting these on my YouTube channel, Dr. Marian Alexander. Don't worry, it's not commercialized. I'm not getting anything out of this, but I figure that platform, most students can reach that all the time, no matter what's happening at HCC as far as record keeping and technology. So you'll be able to find all these videoed lectures for this course there by the end of the semester. And my intention is to put the lectures for each week up before the week starts. So you might be watching this now, whenever you're watching it, because you couldn't log on during the class, or there was difficulty with getting everybody in the WebEx meeting. Lots of ways the technology can go wrong, but you can, even on your phone, get to your the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and view this lecture there. So if you didn't attend class, how are you going to get credit for attending? You can comment on the video, okay? So you need to watch the whole thing, and you need to comment meaningfully, meaning ask a question, point out that you wish we'd gone over more examples of such and such type. Be specific, show that you are actually absorbing the information, okay? So that can help with your attendance record. All right, so you need to do that. You need to see the mathematical lecture. You need to attend the WebEx class sessions and participate. Hopefully after a while, people get used to looking at the lectures, reviewing those before they even walk into the WebEx class session, and we can spend that session getting all your questions answered, going over examples actively, interactively. That is what I'm aiming for. But you need to read the book. You need to read each section, especially the worked out examples, okay? Can you see that? Yeah, you need to read the book. So there's this cycle here of going to class, looking at the video lectures on the YouTube channel, absorbing the information, trying the problems, stopping the videos, working it out yourself, coming back on in class, asking where you're getting, pointing out where you're getting stuck, what you need to see more, and reading the book. The book has, it's probably the best place to start as far as the content goes. Read the book, look at the worked out examples, go to the lecture, make sure you understand what I'm emphasizing in that section, and attend the WebEx class sessions where you can see and hear other students asking questions and what answers they're getting, okay? So after that, you are just repeating those steps over and over again for each section, okay? So this cycle of going back and forth between class, WebEx class, online class, lecture on the video, reading the book, it's just you're constantly going back one to the other, okay? So that's helping you how to absorb the information. Of course, then you have to make sure that you're going to do your online homework and take quizzes and tests. Most of that is happening on MyLab Math. Okay. All right. So a little bit about the structure of how these things are connected. Your Canvas is kind of a shell. It's kind of like the administrative hull of the course. From there, you have a link to MyMathLab. You can access MyLab Math Pearson directly if you like, but there is just a link to it. MyLab and Mastery, I think it's called, or something, on the left-hand side of the Canvas page. Okay, just click that and go in to MyMathLab. Now, what happens in there? There you have graded homework you do online. There will be quizzes, weekly quizzes online, and the textbook is available as an e-file there. And also there will be 2 tests, 1 and 2, test 1 and test 2. That part will be on MyMathLab, graded on the MyMathLab format. Just a heads up, sometimes on the quizzes and tests, I add in my own personal questions, which will test whether you've been looking at the videos. Okay, emphasis that we've been putting on in the videos. So that all happens in there. A lot of your work gets done in here. To be able to understand it, you need to constantly be going back and forth to the lectures, which you can see. They're usually just 15 minutes long. And again, if you missed class, the WebEx class, then commenting meaningfully on that YouTube lecture will help register your attendance there. So you see the green stars everywhere. WebEx meetings, commenting on the videos, active work in MyLab Math. That's, I have to give you, keep record of your attendance. And if you miss more than 6 hours out of the 48 contact hours of the semester, you may be dropped. Read the syllabus for the exact details on that. For example, do you know when the last day of officially being able to drop a course is? That's in the syllabus. All right, so that's an overview, and that should help you once you read the syllabus. That should help you get ready for that syllabus quiz and get that out of the way immediately, and then you can start looking at section 2.1. The quiz 1 at the end of this week is on 2.1, all about sets and beginning of logic. My next video is going to cover that mathematics of section 2.1. Oh yeah, that's right. When you go to the YouTube channel, right, I have several of my classes, lectures recorded there, each one on a playlist. So you're going to be looking for the Math 1332 playlist. Okay. Alrighty. So again, next video will be talking about the mathematics of section 2.1. But before that, you want to get that syllabus quiz out of the way. Here's a little hint that should help you with the syllabus quiz. Okay, and let me lower this. Okay, so because Canvas is trying to keep track of what's going on in MyLab Math, but it can't keep track of what's going on with the videos, there's no way that Canvas or MyLab Math can give you an accurate course grade during the semester, or even at the end of it. By reading the syllabus, you'll know exactly how the grades are calculated. Here is an example, okay? Let's say at the end of the course, your scores were these. Your average on homework was a 97%. That's a pretty typical number because if you notice on MyLab Math, I give you infinitely many tries while that homework period is open. Not after it, but while it's open. Your quizzes, there's going to be 11 of them, once every week when we don't have a test or a midterm or final. And I'll drop the lowest one. So each of those quizzes is about 1% of your course grade. And so the quiz, say this person had a quiz average of 78%. Again, this is after their worst quiz was dropped. Test 1 and Test 2 are on my Math Lab. They're worth 15% each. Let's say that you got an 83 on the first one, but on the second one you got a 49. The midterm and the final are administered on Canvas using Respondus Monitor. Okay, so that is a different setup. You have to get used to that. Let's say on the midterm you got a 67%. The final exam, again, off of going through Canvas on the Respondus Monitor, using Respondus Monitor, you were able to get a 72. Okay, so what is your grade? Well, there are two plans. Okay, that go into my Excel spreadsheet. That is my grade book. Okay, so the first one, just use the weights that are talked about in the syllabus straight up. Your overall course grade 10% of it comes from your homework score. So what you do is you take that 97, which is your grade, and multiply it by 0.10. This is how you calculate a weighted average, by the way. That comes up in chapter 12 of this course. And for quizzes, your quiz average is 78. Quizzes are worth 15% of your grade, so you multiply that 78 by 0.15. You're adding these numbers together. Test 1, Test 2 are also worth 15% each. Okay, so you can see how they go into the calculation. Midterm is 20%, and final is 25%. Okay, so under Plan 1, by the way, using your graphing calculator, it's really easy to calculate this. Yes, the graphing calculator. I'm glad I said that. Let's see if I can wedge this in here. Excuse me. Right, okay. So let me just show you a little bit about what this looks like on the graphing calculator. Yes, you need this for this course, right? Something like this. This is a TI-84, or you a TI-83 or 86, or there's Casio graphing calculators are similar. Anything that has enough of the statistical package to get you through the stats portion of the course and the probability portion of the course would be a good idea. Also, the finance math involves a lot of formulas that are much easier to do if you have something like this. So, for example, here you can see that I can enter a whole string like this in the calculator, be able to view it and go back and forth and correct it easily instead of using just a one-line calculator, so that's nice. And if I want to repeat the calculation, but under Plan 2, take advantage of the fact that the final exam can replace the lowest of what? Test 1, Test 2, or the midterm. Okay? So which of these is the lowest? Test 2, 49. The final exam can replace it if it exceeds it. Okay? So I have another column in my Excel file that called Plan 2 that calculates the same thing but takes that final exam score and substitutes it for your lowest testing, and that was a 49 here. So instead of this term, if I have 15% of your grade, another 15% of your grade is that high 72, then your score becomes a 76.05%. Okay. The graphing calculator is nice because instead of having to retype all that stuff back in, you can get the previous line by doing second function memory, and it gives you that whole thing, that whole string, but you can move the cursor back and forth and replace one little thing in there. Okay, so that's just an example of how to use the graphing calculator. When you need instruction for that, the book has some, but the videos have more. All right, well, off you go, read the syllabus, get that syllabus quiz out of the way. Best of luck.